I tested my testosterone, and if you're a man watching this, you've probably thought about doing the same because testosterone is everywhere now. Testosterone replacement therapy, men's clinic, gym influencers telling you to optimize your hormones or get your masculinity back. It sounds simple. You do a blood test, you get a number, and the number tells you whether you're a real man or not. Except, this is not how this works, because testosterone results are not as simple as high or low. And in this video, I want to explain what these results actually mean, what your doctor is usually checking, and why one number on its own can be misleading. By the way, I'm Abhishek. I'm a specialist pharmacist and I work in sexual health and HIV medicine. I spend a lot of time helping people understand blood tests, medication, sexual health, and what results actually mean in the real world. So, let's break this down properly. When your doctor says, "I'll check your testosterone," the main test they usually start with is called total testosterone. This is the amount of testosterone measured in your blood. But here's the first important point. Testosterone changes during the day. It is usually highest in the morning and lower later in the day. So if you test it at 4 p.m. after a bad night's sleep, stress, illness, or heavy training, that result may not tell the full story. That is why testosterone is usually checked in the morning, often around 8 to 11 a.m. And if it comes back low or borderline, it should usually be repeated on another morning before anyone starts making big decisions. Because one low testosterone result does not automatically mean you have testosterone deficiency. Now, let's talk about the number itself. A common adult male range is roughly somewhere around 8 to 30 nanomoles per liter. But this is where people get confused. Let's say your result comes back at 11. Some people will panic and say that's low. Someone else may say that's still in range. And both might be missing the bigger picture. A rough way to think about it is this. If your total testosterone is above 12, testosterone deficiency is less likely. If it is between 8 and 12, that is more of a gray zone. And if it is below 8, especially if it happens again on a repeated morning test and you have symptoms, that is more suggestive of a testosterone deficiency. But even then, the number is not the whole diagnosis, because testosterone only matters in context. What other symptoms do you have? Do you have low sex drive, erection problems, fatigue, low mood, loss of muscle? And even with those symptoms, you still have to ask, is testosterone actually the cause? Because poor sleep, obesity, alcohol, stress, depression, diabetes, overtraining, and chronic illness can all affect testosterone. This is where the internet gets dangerous. A man feels tired, he sees a post about low testosterone, he gets one test, the result is borderline, then suddenly he thinks testosterone replacement therapy is the answer to his whole life. But that is not medicine, that is marketing. Now, if your total testosterone is low or borderline, your doctor may check another test called SHBG. That stands for sex hormone binding globulin. Think of it like a taxi that carries testosterone around the bloodstream. Some testosterone is bound tightly, some is loosely available, and some is more free to act on tissues. So two men can have the same total testosterone number, but very different amounts of available testosterone, depending on their SHBG. This is why doctors may calculate something called free testosterone. Free testosterone is an estimate of the testosterone that is more biologically available. That can be useful when total testosterone is borderline. For example, a man might have a total testosterone of 11, which looks borderline, but if his free testosterone is okay, he may not actually be testosterone deficient. Another man might have a total testosterone that looks acceptable, but because his SHBG is high, his free testosterone may be low. So again, context matters. Then we have two very important hormones, LH and FSH. These come from the brain, and they send signals to the testicles. LH tells the testicles to produce testosterone. FSH is more involved in sperm production. These tests help answer a deeper question. If testosterone is low, why is it low? If the testosterone is low and LH is high, that suggests the brain is shouting at the testicles, but the testicles are not responding properly. That points more towards a testicular problem called primary hypogonadism. If testosterone is low and LH is low or normal, that suggests the brain may not be sending enough signal. That points more towards a brain or a pituitary signaling problem called secondary hypogonadism. This distinction matters because the treatment, the investigation, and the implications are different. The doctor may also check something called prolactin. Prolactin is another hormone that can suppress testosterone when it is too high. So if prolactin is raised, doctors may need to think about medication causes, stress, thyroid problems, or rarely pituitary causes. So when you say, "I tested my testosterone," the real question is, did you only test total testosterone, or did you also check SHBG, free testosterone, LH, FSH, and prolactin? Because total testosterone tells you the headline, but the other tests tells you the whole story. If this was helpful, please subscribe. There is more coming on men's health, sexual health, and the drugs behind the science. Until next time, stay safe, folks.